Aerodrome Finance, why this might be your last chance. My name is Mikemadz. Let's start this video. Before I start the video, as always, Aero community, make some noise, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. The more people engage, the more people are simply gonna see that video, the better it's gonna be for us, all right? So let's start. Let's stop wasting time, let's jump straight into it, especially here as Aerodrome is pumping. If you held your position, and especially if you bought the bottom, congratulations to you here, Aerodrome being up over 100% here. Super impressive. Today we're going to cover why Aerodrome is winning. Key metrics as always, super important. What is next for Aerodrome, what I'm currently doing with my position, and what to expect here price action wise in the next couple of weeks. The current price action and what we already have accomplished here for Aerodrome. And of course, are you ready, especially for this next upcoming mania phase where altcoins pump like crazy. So let's start. Starting off, Aerodrome is winning, and Aerodrome, guys, is winning where it matters the most, and that being volume-wise and also slowly but surely mindshare-wise. And this is why it's important. I know I keep repeating it. It is important to take a look at the metrics, especially in the last recent weeks here. Everyone was bearish. Most people gave up. Most people thought Aerodrome is done. And this is why it's important to take a look at it. Why? Because this divergence from low token price but to high volume and still activity here on Aerodrome, Aerodrome doing what Aerodrome is intended to do, is a super important indicator. And this is exactly the reason why I keep covering Aerodrome and why I keep being bullish here on Aerodrome, despite the fact that of course the token price was at lows. Take a look at my YouTube here. As you can see, sometimes I post alpha at the lows here, guys. I told you the risk to reward here is super impressive currently on Aerodrome. And since that post here, Aerodrome is up over 80-90%. So make sure to follow me here in the community section and take a look at the volume here, comparing the Ethereum to USDC pair here. As you can see, long story short, Aerodrome is the liquidity hub of Base, and Base is the on-chain volume hub of Ethereum. Super bullish here for the long term. As you can see, $100 million in volume, comparing it to Uniswap. And keep in mind, Uniswap is on mainnet, so not just covering Base here. Very impressive numbers. And you have to keep in mind, guys, Aerodrome is not on most people's radar here. Most people are still stuck in that Uniswap mindshare, so Aerodrome still has lots of room to grow to the upside here, especially volume-wise, and we'll take a look at the token price also shortly here. But again, volume-wise, Aerodrome is making noise here, and this is looking very promising. Now take a look at the very interesting development here. This is a couple weeks old, a couple days old, but I want to cover it either way just to prove a point. As you can see here, politician Mike Collins bought 50K worth of Aerodrome. Not the biggest position size for this type of people, but this just simply shows you big players and institutions having an eye on Aerodrome. And keep in mind, who do you think onboards those type of people? Who do you think onboarded Mike Collins? Let me know down in the comment section below. Of course, just because one politician bought a coin, it doesn't mean that Aerodrome is a safe haven. But again, it's a great representation to show you big players, institutions, politicians having an eye on Aerodrome. Very impressive. All right, take a look at the price action here, seemingly the most important thing for most people, which is understandable. Take a look at Aerodrome here. First question is, I get a lot, can this be the bottom? And the answer here is, yes, this definitely can be the bottom. Why is that? Because from the top here, Aerodrome corrected over 80% here, guys. And you have to keep in mind, most probably it's looking like it that we're still in the bull market. So 80% corrections are not too common. And this is more than enough pain-wise and sentiment-wise to be the bottom here already. Does this mean that we will never retest those lows? No, unfortunately, this doesn't mean that. But in the short term, I wouldn't focus on retesting those lows, because in the short term here, guys, Aerodrome pumped over 100%. This is showing you strength, demand for Aerodrome, interest. And again, as I said, at those lows, retail didn't buy this. This is institutions, this is big players. Those are conviction players, but also slowly but surely, FOMOers who sold this bottom are slowly starting to buy back in, because FOMO is a real emotion here, and FOMO can kick you in the ass, especially if you see prices going back up. So a nice combination of all of those. And I have to remind you guys, over 100% from the bottom. Not many altcoins saw that action, so crazy strength here. Just simply shows you, if the market finally flips completely bullish here, depending on Bitcoin, Aerodrome is ready for takeoff. Now taking a look at where we are here, if you get back to the all-time high, this is already a 200% gain from current levels. So if you are sidelined, not the worst spot to start DCAing. This just simply means you waited for the hands to show here, for the cards to show. You waited for a bullish confirmation, and of course you can still get back in here at 80 cents. Why? Because just going back to the all-time high is a 200% gain, And again, we expect Aerodrome to reach $3, $5, $6, $10 level. So still decent upside potential from those levels. Taking a look at if we see a rejection here, because of course guys, nothing goes up in a straight line, and especially after a 100% move, I would expect somewhere around this level to have a small rejection. It's not necessary, but I wouldn't be worried about it. The most important thing is I would watch this range here. This range from 80 cents down to 66 cents approximately is a great accumulation phase, reaccumulation phase, where I would start DCAing, getting ready for the next leg up here. First of all, of course, to the all-time high, and more importantly, finally here to this $3, $5, $10 level. All right, one of the most important questions is, what is next here? What is next for Aerodrome? What is next in crypto in general? And a quick disclaimer here, or a quick tip here for you guys, where to look at on where to decide where Aerodrome is heading next is just to simply look at Bitcoin here. Take a look at Bitcoin, activate the bull market support band here on TradingView, and switch it over to the weekly view. On the hourly, of course, we are above the bull market support band. On the daily, we are above the bull market support band. Especially here on the weekly, I would like to see finally Bitcoin closing above $65,000. This would confirm here bullish reversal, and this would be the moment here where I would load up heavy on altcoins. At the current stage, we are looking bullish. We are breaching this bull market support band, and we are breaching this green EMA finally. But again, $65,000 is the moment we're going to be completely bullish here. So we have to see how it goes. This does not mean we need to breach it today. This does not mean we need to breach it tomorrow, but this would mean here I would take a look at if we consolidate here and it slowly but surely creep up. We can have small rejections, no question about that. The most important thing is here, we don't want to see weekly rejections here and fall back here below this level. This would simply mean that things will take longer than expected. Just example here, things can take multiple weeks here below this bull market support band. And as you can see here, we had a test, rejection, test, rejection. This can take longer. So we have to take a look at that. And this is one of the most important things to take a look at. Have Bitcoin here on your charts. Doesn't mean you need to own Bitcoin. Just make sure to take a look at Bitcoin because of course Bitcoin leads the way. Now, take a look at where we are in the cycle. And this is just only my personal opinion. And this is how I'm personally reacting here portfolio wise. And this is why the reason I am still in crypto, over 90% still in crypto. I have a cash position, which I'm currently looking to deploy. This is currently where I personally think we are at. We're currently in this bear trap here. Now we were in the first sentiment extreme where everybody was bullish. Meme coins were popping left and right and everybody was euphoric here. Me included, guys. My portfolio doing 2x's here in a couple weeks. Euphoria was definitely here. But currently I think we are in this bear trap, which does not mean that we're going to see a V-shaped recovery here within days here and to reach that euphoria within weeks. This can take longer, but more importantly, it is important to know where we're at in the cycle. And I personally think that we're currently here and this mania phase, especially for altcoins, is still ahead. So this is why it's super important to have a position yourself and be ready for it. In the long term, guys, it doesn't really matter here. Rejection from here or pump from here. In the long term, the only thing that matters is going to be the money printer being back on here, quantitative easing, and as we all know, it's just a question of time until that happens. And if that happens here, the mania phase, guys, is a real thing, and the mania phase can put altcoins at crazy high valuations. I'm not saying that it's possible. By now, people should know my price prediction for Aerodrome, but I want to add here, if Aerodrome can reach Uniswap's volume or even have higher volume than Uniswap, then I don't think this is a super unrealistic level. I'm not saying it's going to happen. My price prediction is very conservative and I covered my price prediction in recent videos. The only thing I want to show you with this is here that the mania phase is real and that the mania phase depends only on one thing and one thing only. Forget every indication, forget every chart. The only thing that matters for risk on assets is the M2 money supply here. And as you can see, we are having a breakout and this is just only the beginning here. Money printer is going to be turned back on. Unfortunately, quantitative easing is the only mechanism here for things not to break. It's only a matter of time for this to happen. And I want to remind you, the mania phase is real. And this is exactly how the mania phase looks like. Altcoins here, meme coins being crazy high valuation, Polkadot crazy high valuation. So be ready for it. You will not most probably catch the bottom. The only thing that's important is be positioned for it, be ready for it, and reap the benefits for once it happens. And I want to remind you here, guys, just make sure to make use of your Aerodrome. Don't trade it, don't try to trade it. Most people get dragged trying to trade their altcoin. Just simply make use of your Aerodrome, I use it here with Seamless. The TVL is increasing, so people are trusting the protocol. The most important thing is you're gaining on your Aerodrome and you're just simply not holding it and getting diluted by its API. Super, super important. At the end of the day, guys, be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. Do your own research. Super, super important. And the most important thing is, as always, don't get wrecked.
Giving up from blue tops like Mars Simpson, just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head, late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice,